What's good, YouTube? It's Mike, and if you've ever wondered how some of your favorite YouTubers have very accurate content with very minimal stutters, of course with time you can learn to put together sentences without really having to think about it. But before we get started, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing as it really helps the channel grow. Now, if you're just starting out or maybe you just aren't that good with words, you could use something like a teleprompter, which is what I use for some of my videos and I am of course using now. This comes in handy if I'm reading out a bunch of specs or just want to make sure that my content is as accurate as possible. You may be able to pull this off somewhat with some bullet points, but I found that it does overall save some time when it's utilized correctly. When I'm not using it as a teleprompter, I'm actually using it as a monitor to show my Ninja 5 on the front of the camera so that I can easily look at the framing and it doesn't look like I'm awkwardly looking over, under, or to the side of the camera like you may see with other videos. Being that I do have experience with training and talking about specific things in my real job, it does really help me to translate over, so it's not that hard for myself as it may be for someone else. So enough talking. What exactly is a teleprompter? Well, a teleprompter allows you to put your phone, tablet, or other device in front of your camera, and it basically reflects your script back up on the screen through a transparent kind of mirror. Now, I originally bought this for myself, but it can come in handy for client videos where they need to read something. You would, however, need to pair your teleprompter with an app that can show the script, as most don't really come with one. I personally have the GlideGear one, and they have other different versions of the same thing, and other brands have their own version as well. I'll link to the one that I have in the description below, and it's by no means perfect, but I'm reading from it right now and it does a great job. I think the most frustrating piece is probably the software itself, as it doesn't always hear you and doesn't always scroll. But all in all, it's still a great investment. So just to show exactly how beneficial it is, I'm gonna invite over a friend, Red Salamander, who also has a channel here on YouTube, and I'm gonna ask him to talk about the specs of his camera without a teleprompter, and we'll just see how much he knows on the fly, and then I'm going to put a script up on the screen that I wrote that talks about his camera so that I can show you in a real world example of it working. Now, he may not get it perfect because he's never really used one, but I'm confident we'll see a difference, so let's do it.
Yo, what's up, bro?
What's up?
What's up?
What you doing?
I just got to Q's crib to pick up my crib or my gear.
Oh, you're picking up all your gear?
Yeah, what's up?
Nothing. I was just trying to see when you wanted to come by and help me with that teleprompter video.
With the teleprompter? Shit, I can come through tonight and help you with that.
I really just need you to read something off of there, and then that's pretty much it. Nothing crazy. Or if there's anything else you needed to do, we can do it.
Okay. When I finish up here, I can be on my way. Maybe like at 9 or something.
That's cool. Whenever. I'll be here.
All right. Sounds good, bro. Let you know.
All right, bro.
All right.
Yeah.
What's up?
All right, bro. Appreciate you coming to help me out.
Thanks for having me.
So we're gonna do a little experiment. Basically, we're gonna run through you talking about your camera, and then I'm gonna provide you with a script, and then I want you to read that, and then we're just gonna compare and see the differences between having a teleprompter and not having one.
So this is like an experiment.
Yep.
Okay.
So give a real world kind of review of a teleprompter.
Mm.
This is a script that he's never seen what I wrote for him. He's just gonna have to read it and see how it
Never.
goes. So first off, who are you and what camera do you use?
Well, I go by Red Salamander, and I currently use the Lumix S1, the only correct brand to exist on this earth. Lumix.
Might get a lot of hate for that. Anyways, so the question is, if someone were to ask you today, what are the specs of your camera, or what can it do in like just a short few sentences, what would you say?
Well, Lumix has always been dedicated towards filmmakers for video, and that's what I do specifically. Now, I love the fact that it's got, 4K at 60 frames, 10-bit internal, and you can do 4K 60 at 10-bit externally. And so it's got so many features like waveform and a lot of things that has really helped me and made it a lot easier. But I wish that they would fix their autofocus. But I've always been a focus puller, and I love the ergonomics of it. It feels great. But I gotta warn you, it's pretty big. It's about as big as my forehead. And if you put our camera body with my forehead together, you could probably land a SR-72 Blackbird. But other than that, it's a beast and I love it.
All right. So I have written a few sentences that I want you to go ahead and read. I'm gonna put on the teleprompter now.
I don't think I've read anything on the teleprompter before.
That's all right, we'll do a few takes if we have to.
So like, can you see my eyeballs when I'm moving?
So the first thing is when I'm bringing up the smart prompter, we have to have a moment of silence just for it to register.
Okay.
All right, now that it's registered, I'm gonna place it in front of the camera through the teleprompter. Are you able to see that?
Yes.
Does it need to be brighter, bigger, or something?
No, that's perfect.
All right. So whenever you're ready.
The S1 is Panasonic's well-rounded full-frame mirrorless camera, which offers advanced features for both stills and video. It sports a 24.2 megapixel sensor with impressive image quality that can shoot up to 9 frames per second with an ISO range all the way up to 204,800. The S1 is a beast at video and can record up to 4K 30 with full pixel readout and has unlimited recording times. Yeah, you hear that? Unlimited recording times.
It does.
Can also shoot 4K 60, 422 10-bit color, as well as vlog. In a recent update, Panasonic's enabled RAW recording, which makes this camera a force in the video world. And did I mention, it's Netflix approved. Yeah. By the way, I'm Red Salamander.
I added that one in there for you. So again, that's the first take, right?
Yeah.
That wasn't so bad. But compared to what you did before, to me, that was an improvement.
Right,
I guess we'll have to let everyone else be the judge of that.
It felt different. Like, it felt like I actually had a lot more control talking into the camera when I actually was reading it.
Yeah, so that brings up my other point. So now that you've used it, do you think it's a benefit to use one? How did you feel using it? Do you think you would buy one? And just, I guess, the pros of, or even cons, if you will, of using one.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm actually considering and getting one just because of this and having to write out my videos. Because on my videos, I've always done everything just by head. But now I felt like how much more structured and more control I had and being more detailed for the viewers. And to be taken a little bit more serious, I think that has definitely made an impact in terms of the presentation and especially for the intentions of my content being created. So in terms of the cons, I haven't used it enough just yet. It's something that I don't really understand yet, so, but we'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't think it's for every video, but it can definitely help you get on track, and at least when people are watching you, it makes them feel a lot more secure that you know exactly what you're talking about because you've had time to plan out and you don't miss your marks. So that's how I feel it's beneficial.
Yeah, I can definitely agree too, because I remember making content and you know, just doing it at the top of my head. You already have what you want to say in mind, but as soon as you hit record,
you sometimes stumble.
Exactly, and in the editing process, you realize I've totally forgot to mention that. And but yeah, I think this would only be beneficial. So.
All right, I want to thank you again for coming out and helping me out.
Thanks for having me.
With that out of the way, I've already explained the benefits of a teleprompter. However, it's not perfect, as I stated. This particular model doesn't have any adjustments on the mounting. I can't really use my quick release plates due to it being, you know, not as universal. And sometimes it makes the camera too high for certain focal lengths. The application I'm using is probably the best one out there. It's called PromptSmart. However, it's also not perfect and sometimes not smart. And even in the room, I'm in when it's dead quiet. It doesn't always hear you, and it's definitely frustrating at times where it'll sometimes skip lines in my script and then I just have to wing it. But all in all, it comes highly recommended, and GlideGear makes some great stuff as well. And just as an honorable mention, I'd say grab that PromptSmart app as well. They do have a pro version, which I have, which I pay for. But yeah, I mean, GlideGear Teleprompter and Smart Prompt Pro. All right, so those are my thoughts on this teleprompter as well as a real world example. Let me know in the comments below if it's something you consider buying or if you think you need one. Once again, if you liked the video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Hit that notification bell if that's something you're into. Oh, that's a wrap.
Dude, I actually like that.
If it's dead quiet, except for when cars are driving by. Thank you.